As much as I tried to deny it, I knew it was coming.
Rob, you're really nice, but I just don't feel the same way anymore.
And then, the blow that would shatter me into a million pieces.
I've been seeing Jonathan.
Jonathan was her boss. And at this very moment, she's probably with him. I know if what I'm about to do doesn't change her mind, if it doesn't bring her back, she'll be gone from my life forever. Take a deep breath. Then I type the 9-word text into my phone. And then I hit send. That's why, no matter how bad it felt losing a woman I was ready to marry to another man, I would happily go through every minute of it all over again because of what it led to next. I'd deal with the pain, heartbreak, and embarrassment because what happened next led to a secret discovery that took my dating life on the most dramatic and unexpected turns possibly imaginable. And although the story is painful and embarrassing to tell, what happened next not only gave me a second chance and had a girl I thought was gone for good reaching out and chasing after me, but if you have a woman slipping away, a female friend, coworker, ex, or any girl you have your eye on right now, this weird little secret I'm about to share has the power to do the very same for you. A secret discovery that has proven the real reason a woman rejects you, loses interest, ignores your texts, puts you in the friend zone, or pulls away after a couple of dates, even when things start strong between you. A shocking discovery, which led to a simple technique that transformed an ice-cold woman into my loving, loyal girlfriend in just weeks, leaving everyone around me who had told me to give up and move on, shocked and amazed how I finally escaped the friend zone and had her chasing me instead of the other way around. Going from this to this. Yet, more importantly, everything that happened in my dating life up until that point, heartbreak, the disappointment, the constant rejection, why girls never felt that spark, why they never felt the same level of passion and excitement to be with me. Not only for the first time did it finally make sense, but I saw how simple and easy it was to fix with one simple technique I'm going to show in a minute. The same simple technique that miraculously gave me the power and upper hand with the girl everyone, including my own mother, told me to let go, and completely defies all the common advice a man is told about what women want, what they crave, what they desire and chase. A simple technique that freed me from the mental exhaustion, confusion, and pain of chasing after a girl who was constantly slipping away, while restoring my confidence, my mojo, and my ability to be charming and attractive to girls, even more so than I was in my 20s. And that's not all. My Uncle Steve, who was 56 years old, alone, resigned to being single for the rest of his life, he used the same dating technique to meet, attract, and marry a beautiful woman 14 years younger, who treats him like the prize. Him charged and full of vitality, the two of them sneaking off into the bedroom. We honestly thought Steve was a lost cause with women, so it was refreshing to see him given what only can be called a second love life. His new attitude, projecting the fact that he's not the least bit scared to be single again because he's finally got women figured out. And he knows the exact moves to spark a woman's interest, desire, and instinct to chase after a man, even when you're not her typical type and nothing like the guys she normally goes for. As weird and unbelievable as everything still feels at times. All of this is because of a simple technique that I was fortunate enough to have accidentally stumbled onto and discovered. The technique I call the scrambler turns everything you thought possible about female attraction and what women chase completely upside down. And now that I've used this to meet and soon marry my beautiful girlfriend, I have an internal obligation to pay it forward to you. So, mark my words, if you're struggling to attract a specific woman, if you continually lose girls' interest after a couple of dates, if you feel like women always have the power and upper hand, or you just lose your confidence around the girls you really like, this technique is about to transform your dating and sex life in every way that counts. Now, let me be clear. This has absolutely nothing to do with pickup lines, dating apps, dressing better, Or worse, useless advice like just be yourself or tell her how you feel. I promise you, this is something completely different than anything you've ever seen before. Because this has to do with one innocent test I guarantee you're failing with every single woman you meet that determines her attraction towards you, if she'll ever commit, if she'll sleep with you, and whether or not she'll chase and pursue you or get bored and move on. When we get this one test wrong, the outcome is crystal clear. No matter how much she initially liked you, pretty soon she'll lose interest, disappear, or give you the sad and pathetic friend zone speech. And all of your sending her flowers, giving her gifts, awkwardly confessing your feelings, or even your attempts at playing the game will only drive her further away. Hello and welcome. My name is Rob Judge. And the most ironic part of my seriously bizarre story is that just prior to being blindsided and badly rejected by a girl who I believed was in love with me and completely killed my confidence and left me powerless and emotionally out of control around women, was at that point in my life I had already turned things around and had my dating life pretty much handled. See, in my early 20s, I studied the dating game and discovered a few tricks that enabled me to go from being an introverted 21-year-old virgin to seemingly having my choice of girls throughout my 20s. I'd slept with models and actresses, and although I'm not proud of this now, I was actually recognized as one of the top pickup artists on the planet. So yeah, talk about a painfully embarrassing fall from grace. Now, while I left my pickup artist days of cold approaching girls in bars and clubs behind me, because I have a 6-year-old daughter that means the world to me, I have, let's just say, a long list of research and development with women under my belt. I've spoken on stages across the country. CEOs, entrepreneurs, NFL athletes, Hollywood directors, and even most of the well-known dating coaches out there have paid me silly amounts of money for one-on-one help in their dating life. Yet, most fulfilling to me was being able to help normal guys around the world transform their interactions with women through my best-selling dating advice programs, which implement the most cutting-edge flirting, conversation, and attraction-building strategies available at the time. However, here's the big catch not many people talk about. Even the most cutting-edge approaching, flirting, and conversation tactics only temporarily capture a woman's attention, but do nothing to cure the root cause of her losing interest and pulling away. Which is why a woman who started off hot and heavy for you, texting you all the time, always available to hang out, seemingly out of nowhere, will cut you off and reject you. This is also why a female friend or a coworker might have initially been flirty and suggestive towards you, then she quickly becomes cold and disinterested in you romantically. And I'll tell you right now, the absolute worst thing a guy can do when a woman starts pulling away is everything the magazines, mainstream media, and women tell us to do. Buy her flowers, gifts, confess your feelings, endlessly try to convince her you're the one, because all of that has the opposite effect. Believe me, I tried it all with Adriana, and it just makes you look needy and desperate, killing any attraction she still might have had toward you. With that said, this is exactly why if I add everything I've accomplished over the past 13 years coaching men, all of my experience, all of the beautiful women I've personally been with, and all of the women I've helped my clients meet and sleep with, the millions of remarkable transformations that I'm so humbled and proud to have been a part of, combine them all together, and it pales on every level to the breakthrough in female attraction you'll see in a few minutes. Just watch the rest of this short video. Try what I'm going to show you. And if it doesn't immediately transform your dating life as I promised, I will gladly send you over $2,000 worth of international best-selling dating systems for free. But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to need to, because this technique I call the scrambler instantaneously delivers what thousands of men around the world are appropriately calling a secret little love pill. I'm talking about automatically and effortlessly having her work to win you over, pursuing you, treating you like the prize she can't live without, making you more desirable to girls you meet, seemingly overnight, all in an under-the-radar way that makes her think it was her idea to fall for you. And if you find this to be somewhat far-fetched, I can promise you it's not. So just keep watching. The scrambler technique has worked for myself, my Uncle Steve, and now countless, thousands of everyday men, college students, professionals, single dads, even grandpas from all walks of life. So if you've been trying to find a girlfriend or finally make one specific girl yours and only yours, yet nothing seems to be working, or worse, you seem to do all right at first with a girl, only to continually mess things up and eventually blow it. Trust me, you're not alone, and it's definitely not your fault. No one teaches us this stuff. I had to learn the hard way. As I mentioned earlier, at 35 years old, I came out of a messy divorce, a single dad, and the only thing in the world I wanted was to find the right woman to settle back down with. But I quickly realized that my game was rusty, and things didn't come as easily to me as it did in the glory days of my 20s. It was like the minute I started to like a girl, no matter how good things initially seemed between us, she'd eventually pull away. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but I was continually failing a very simple test that 99.9% of men out there are failing too. Chances are you failed this test in the past, and you never even realized why she left or what really went wrong. When this happened to me, sometimes I blame women and say, they're all messed up in the head nowadays. Sometimes I'd blame my situation and feel sorry for myself and assume she wanted someone younger, richer, or better looking than me. However, I was not content with settling. I was not going to be one of those guys married to an unhappy, unattractive woman I was only with because I couldn't find anyone better. I also didn't want to spend my life in the soul-sucking world of swiping on Tinder or hitting up old lady bars. Now, it all came crashing down on me when I met Adriana. Somehow I stumbled into a relationship with her, and that relationship turned into a 6-month spiral into the depths of emotional despair, obsession, and the inability to focus on anything else in my life other than getting her back. Sometimes I'd try to play it cool and not text her too much. Other times, I'd try to be funny and witty with daily messages to stay on her mind. I'd plan fun and interesting dates, be a gentleman, show up to her house with a bouquet of roses, offer to help when she needed it, do her all kinds of favors, and basically portray myself as the perfect guy. As pathetic as this sounds, I even shook her boss, Jonathan's, hand, even though I knew he was trying to sleep with her. And when nothing was working, I went in the opposite direction and tried being cold right back to her, giving her ultimatums like, if you cancel another date, I'm not putting up with it. But truth be told, I always did. I could almost never walk away. And like all women, she instantly knew it. And she knew that she had me.